Hello everyone. Today I am going to talk about product design. So all of you must be having a lot of things lying around you. Each of them serving a specific purpose and utility. Now in order to go through what I want to cover, let us consider three specific products. I have a water bottle, a scissors and a twisted vase with me. Now any product that you take has got technical and commercial aspect to it. So if I take the scissors, okay, now fine, scissors are used for cutting and you have certain set of requirements from them. So your fingers must go in nicely into the scissors. You must have a nice crisp motion of these scissors. The cutting edges must be sharp and they must stay sharp for a long period of time. Now similarly, if you take a vase, you want it to be, well, depending on your taste, you may want it to be either lightweight and pretty looking, or you may want it to be heavy. Now and then every product has also got commercial aspect to it, which the management of the companies that make them are really interested about. So if you take the scissors for example, now each scissor costs about 100 to 150 rupees depending upon the quality of the scissor. If you so within a country like ours, there must be about 20 to 50 crores of scissors at any point of time, and every year we can safely assume that about 2 to 3 crores of scissors are sold. Now this particular scissor that I have with me, it costed about 150 rupees. Now if you take the business that we are talking about over here is about 300 to 400 crores per year on the scissors. Now if you take what all goes into making a scissor, you have these blades, these plastic parts, and then a rivet and a washer. Now the blades are made out of hardened steel, the plastic parts are made out of polymethyl methacrylate, a hard plastic, and the rivet is again made out of steel. Now even though this particular blade looks nice and polished, it's not really stainless steel. You can check that this is carbon steel. If I take a magnet to it, the magnet sticks to the scissor. Okay, the polished finish that you see is coming from the nickel plating on the blades. Now if you take the materials being used to make the scissor, all materials put, any of these materials does not cost more than 150 rupees to 200 rupees per kilo. So at 150 rupees for 60 grams, the material cost in this scissor is about 9 to 10 rupees, and for mass production the manufacturing and the processing cost can be taken to be about 3 times of the material cost. So let's say the overall making cost for this scissor in mass production is about 40 rupees. So you see, there is a lot of money to be made by a large number of people through sale of this simple looking scissor. If you take this bottle, now it might look like the bottle is made out of only 2 parts, but in reality you have the glass body, and this cap actually has multiple parts in it. So you have the stainless steel outer body. Okay, this in this case is stainless steel, it's not regular steel because, well, the magnet doesn't stick to it. And then you have a plastic inside and a silicone washer. So there are 3 parts within the cap. Now, so for a designer, the journey of a part or the journey of a product starts from a computer. Earlier it used to be that they started on a drawing board, but now pretty much all of the drawing is made on a computer using something known as computer aided design softwares. So using these softwares, you first make drawings for individual parts within your system. You put them together, you can generate the motion which the part is supposed to give, and then you can do some strength analysis. Okay, so I'm going to press on this. So strength analysis to see that the parts have sufficient rigidity to them. Now, when you want to make something in millions, when you want to mass produce a certain component, you have some manufacturing processes which you are going to use. So for example, if you want to make this cap body, okay, then you would use a deep drawing technique in order to get this cap. For the plastic part, you would use something like injection molding in order to get your plastic part. Now, even though these techniques work really well for mass production, because whatever is the cost associated with setting up the process, it is spread out over millions of components. These are not really favorable when you want to create a prototype. So at prototyping stage, something like 3D printing works really well. So this twisted was 3D printed. Okay, so 3D printing works really well when you want to create an initial prototype in order to figure out how the part is going to look and feel. So for this week and the coming week, we are going to talk about creation of 3D part models on a computer aided, using a computer aided software. In particular, we are going to work with a software known as FreeCAD, which is an open source software. So we create the parts on this software, we generate something known as STL files, and using these STL files, we will create the G code for the 3D printing operation. So thank you.